Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey. We're here with Chantal, who is our nerdy doctor friend, right? She's your favorite nerdy doctor friend. That's what board games do you like, Chantal? Let's get into some stuff here. What games do you
I
like?
like chess.
I love it.
I play chess all the time.
So you would be like my nerdy friend that comes over to play chess with me. That would be
fun.
fun.
And beat you every time.
And okay, yeah, that would probably happen.
Sorry to say, but
it's super likely, especially with that swagger that you just conveyed.
But I love
the
process, though. I love the process,
Yeah, the strategy.
Beating you, the process is good,
Yes, like she's weak, she's shaking. Boom. Yeah. Well, now let's talk about taking care of people. So now we'll change it completely. I'm already crying. All right. So today we're talking about adrenal fatigue, and I know that a lot of people out there either don't understand what it means. But there's something like over 80% of Americans actually are walking around suffering with this, and they have no idea because they don't know that it has a name, right? Didn't it come around in like 98 is where the name came around? So let's talk about what adrenal fatigue is. Let's talk about that first, and then we're going to talk about what it can turn into. So the future of somebody with these symptoms of adrenal fatigue, what does your future potentially look like? That's what we're going to get into next. So first, what is it?
Okay. So first I'm going to talk about where it comes from. Okay.
Perfect.
Because the adrenals are the glands that are on top of the kidneys, and they secrete cortisol. Okay. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone, but actually it's the survival hormone. Okay. Because your body is supposed to secrete the type of hormone when you're life threatened. It's supposed to be giving you the energy, the boost to run away from a predator. That's the main reason for this.
So the fight or flight, where your heart starts racing, and
okay. So that being said, when you are threatened, you're going to have a boost of cortisol, which is going to secrete also adrenaline to let you go away, to run from your predator. But what that is after you've done and you're safe, then it crashes down. And after, what are the symptoms of that is, you're shaking, you're going to cry, you feel really, really tired. You want to sleep all over the place. You've got headaches, but that's because you had a rush, you had an adrenal push, and then you have to recuperate for that.
Yeah.
But that is a situation that is supposed to come maybe once in a lifetime.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or in a situation where, somebody's having a heart attack, you're not thinking about it, you're just doing, so you have that adrenal rush, and after that, you feel the consequences,
Yeah.
So but what happens is, now we have so much stress, we have so much it's so much fear of everything that's going on, that we're constantly secreting that cortisol. If you have money problems, if you have family problems, if you have a stressful career, if you're running as a mother all over the place, going to the kindergarten, then going to work, then get back the kids, then going to the hockey, then in that, so our lives are made of stress, and that hormone is secreted mostly from emotions, because it's a hormone that's secreted because you need it to cope with the situation in that moment of time.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to calm yourself down. But if you're always in that stress mode all the time, your core goes down.
Wow.
You know, it goes up, it stabilizes there because of the way you live. It goes up a little bit more if you have a problem momentarily, then comes back down, but it's always high. And that is, you know, one of the number one causes of inflammation in our body, because you never go down. Yeah. And even though you have a massage or something like that, temporarily you're going to go down, but with your lifestyle, always back up again.
Right.
And that in the long run can conduct to illness, because your inflammation is always there.
Wow. So I like that we're talking about this, because this is the emotional precursor, or the emotional side to inflammation. Yes. Because a lot of times we talk about toxicity and things like that, which is more of a physical side of inflammation, or a producer of inflammation.
Exactly.
And now we're talking about the emotional producer of inflammation. And it seems almost like it's worse than the physical things, like the 1 + 1 = 2 stuff.
Yes. You know why? Because we don't really recognize that it can be something that's there to be in a stress mode. It's a stress mode, but it's always a survival, because you're always, you know, in production, and you never get the chance, you know, to say, okay, well, you know, I give a peak and then, you know, go back to relax and give it, you know, it's always there.
Yeah.
So your body never gets a break.
That is crazy. So that makes sense as to why you're seeing a bunch of corporations kind of moving toward mindful movements.
Yes, because too many people have burnouts today.
Yeah.
Because of that.
So then they've got attrition and turnover and things like that, and they're trying to keep people there and alive, I'm sure. I mean, how much of that? So let's go into right. Let's talk about 2 things. So I get very excited, and I want to talk about all the things. Let's talk about them all. We'll do that off camera sometime, where we just talk about all the things. But that's actually me messaging you on any random day. Like, but what about this? But what about this? That's actually what happens, you guys. In case you want to know, Chantal and I behind the scenes, it's always me messaging her, like, but what about this? What about, does this do this and this? And she's like, oh my gosh, Martha. Let's talk about, what are some symptoms? I put some on my page earlier today, symptoms where people would maybe be able to self-diagnose, at least know that you're moving into a state. Right. Yeah, exactly. So what would be some of those, just in case they didn't see that?
Anxiety, brain fog. Fog.
Brain fog.
You have low libido, insomnia, you know, feeling wired all the time, and just plain burnout is, you know, before you get to burnout, you get to chronic fatigue, you know, you get that your brain is always working all the time, but never fully clear and not rested. So of course, it impacts your life, but just a little at a time. So you don't really realize that something's going on, because it gets your routine. Right. You get used to that. You know, so you deal with it. Yes, exactly. Until the day. Go ahead. And exactly, until the day, well, you can't pick yourself up anymore.
Right.
You know, because you've pushed yourself too much.
It's so crazy, because we live in the society that we glorify the push. We glorify the people that just work so hard and work all the time and all the time and all the time, instead of glorifying the slow down and take care of yourself, because the push we see as productive. The push we see as like you're making things happen. You're making things happen. Well, you might be killing yourself. You might actually really not be doing something good in the long run at all, right? So what would somebody with untreated, unrecognized adrenal fatigue, what would their future potentially look like if they keep on the track that they're on?
Well, it could be, you know, from always sick all the time to, you know, development of cancer cells. It can go from there to there. But, you know, the big picture most of the time is, you know, some general fatigue, but you know, the fatigue that you can never really rest from, because even though you sleep 12 to 15 hours a day, you're always tired. You're always tired. And it, you know, from depression and anxiety is one of the symptoms of adrenal fatigue also, you know?
Yeah.
And anything that goes with inflammation, when you're secreting cortisol, the inflammation in your body is never going down. So it can go after that to autoimmune disease. It can go after that to, you know, to physical, you know, muscle illness all the time, or just developing something that you've never had before, like, you know, general pain, you know, feeling general pain. Everything hurts every morning when you get up.
Right.
That's one of the symptoms also, you know, of your long run adrenal fatigue.
Wow. Is actual physical pain. And that's, again, it's the inflammation referring now in a physical sense from something that started from an emotional. Peekaboo. I'm back.
You flushed me. I was talking to myself.
You're like, well, I don't know. What do we do here? You go ahead and take over. I should just do that one day. Bye. But that's the thing.
What you did almost.
Right. That's the thing is it comes from an emotional place, and we're starting to refer in a physical way. So there's the autoimmune disorders that you were mentioning. It's really everything that inflammation has anything to do with, which is pretty much everything, right?
If it's not dealt with, it comes from a small thing to a big thing.
Right. Yes. Okay, so now we don't like to raise problems without presenting solutions. So that being said, we are going to talk about how the juice that we drink, how will this juice help somebody that has adrenal fatigue?
Well, first thing, it's a boatload of antioxidants. So the first thing it's going to do, it's going to deal with the inflammation. So that's the main reason why it's effective in this case, because it deals to the core of the problem, which is the inflammation. You need to deal with that first. And there's a blend also to detox. So everything that you secrete, you're going to flush. So you don't have, eventually, while detoxing, you don't have the accumulation of that hormone anymore. You know, so it helps you deal until you decide for yourself that you're willing to, you know, wind down a little bit in your life, because you can't run all over the place for the rest of your life. It's not healthy. But I mean, in the meantime, there's something that you can do about it, is deal with the inflammation and deal with the, you know, the doses of the cortisol that you secrete every day. So if you detox them, then bring them down to a level that's more acceptable, where it's going to be easier for you to be able to deal with that every day. So your symptoms are going to, ameliorate instead of,
they'll go away.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going for? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know that word, you chess champion. I don't know. Don't play Scrabble either.
They're going to improve. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Symptoms are going to improve instead of, yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So, yes. So it's just a case of, helping people being able to deal with the inflammation in the first place, and helping people, detoxing the hormone that you don't need. You don't need it all the time. You need when you're on survival mode, and that's it. You're not supposed to be on survival mode all your life.
Right. So, exactly. Yeah. That's what it's the interesting thing. And I think that, I'm sure that there are plenty of men. If it's 80% of Americans, you've got a lot of men and you've got a lot of women in that, right? But I can't help but think.
And children too now, because a lot of children today having performance anxiety, they have sports issues, they're at the young age now, they deal with performance issues.
Wow.
And they're rushed, they're rushed in the morning. They don't have the time to wake up properly in the morning. You need to go this and you need to go there and brush your teeth, So when they get up, and just right there, it's go, go, go. Well, go, go, go means also cortisol.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So every time you have that, because I know that feeling very well, the feeling of like kind of being behind always, of like, well, we were late today. And that was my fault. That was because I was behind. And I came on with Chantal like before we came live, and I was like, I'm sorry, I lost track of time. Like it was just that but it's a constant state of being behind or feeling behind, right? And that's
that's us that gives us that impression, because we were drilled to go on a schedule and be on time, like soldiers all the time.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if we're 5 minutes late, who cares?
Right. Yeah.
Just breathe, and everybody's going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Sarah said, you are sneaking to me, but then she said speaking. Carol said kids are not allowed to be kids anymore. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Exactly.
Melissa said, what supplements do you recommend? Melissa, we actually have a juice that we suggest. You're welcome to message either of us, and we would be happy to talk to you about it. The juice that we suggest, you can only get it from one place, okay? So it's not like something that's just everywhere. We all drink it ourselves. My entire family drinks it. Me, my husband, my 4-year-old, and our dogs. Everybody drinks this stuff. And the reason why is because of what we're talking about today. Here's the truth of the matter is that, years ago, our ancestors didn't need this. But here's the deal is today we live in a different environment. We live in a toxic environment. We are rushed, like we just talked about. We are like, everything is so busy. Everything is now. We have to supplement our bodies with enormous amounts of antioxidants to be able to stabilize the free radicals and flush everything out. So we're not going to have as much inflammation. Am I right, Chantal?
Exactly. Yeah, you're good at this now.
That's what this juice does, and that's why I will scream it from the mountaintops until the day I die, you guys. Like this has become my new mission, because as soon as you take it, there are almost 200 people that are now on our team that have joined our team within the last 4 months. 200 people, and every single one of them is experiencing a better life because of this. Okay. Like people's people's lives are getting better, and that we don't have to suffer for our entire lives, or for any of it. Quite frankly, we don't need to suffer. We can take good care of ourselves, and it doesn't have to require, you know, a change of everything in your life, right? You can just introduce the juice and then take baby steps toward other things, right? You'll want to make healthier choices. That's the funny thing that's been happening with this. 2 people quit smoking. They didn't even mean to. Like, the one girl had a pack of cigarettes in her purse for like 5 weeks, she said, and she just found them, and she didn't even realize that she didn't even want a cigarette. That's crazy, because I used to smoke, and I understand, like, how do you not even realize you have a pack of cigarettes in your purse? Like, that means that you really don't care about it. So there's that. Also, if you're going to be getting this juice, make sure that you get it from somebody on my team. So when you order it from somebody, ask them, are you on Martha Krejci's team? And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have a special group. Chantal is in the group. She goes live every Tuesday to answer your specific questions. Okay. And then she's also makes herself available often anyway.
Every day.
Yeah, she's always, you're always on. Like, we appreciate you beyond can I just say, we appreciate you so much, Chantal. Like, you're just such a perfect addition to the team. Yeah, just the nerdiness is great. So there's Chantal, and then there's we have a personal trainer that's starting to put videos on that show you good workouts that you can do at home. We talk about nutrition, we talk about diets. I talk about keto because that's what I do, but there are other diets that are talked about in there as well. It's not about any one thing. It's about living a happy, healthy life, and whatever that looks like to you, and will help guide you to what that looks like for you. Okay. That's why you want to make sure you get it from somebody on our team. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So what would you, Melissa, can you please message me with details? Yeah, I got you. Girl, I got you. Melissa said, does it help with pain? What do you want to say about that, Chantal? I'll let Chantal talk about it.
Yes, it does, because when you deal with the inflammation is a response of your body that something's not right. So when you do have when you have pain, you also have inflammation. So if you're dealing with the inflammation, of course, it's going to reduce the pain at the same time, and then eventually, start the healing process. Your body is going to start the hehealing process.
Yeah.
So if you deal with the inflammation, it helps with the pain.
Yeah. I would equate it with the most one-to-one for me to understand it anyway is whenever you have a toothache and it gets like inflamed and like, you can see that it's inflamed like and stuff. Right. Yeah. And then they give you an anti-inflammatory, right? Well, you take Advil for it and then it stops hurting. Okay. So that's an anti-inflammatory, right? But that's also an SAID, which you don't want, you don't doing too much of that either. But it's the fact that it's hitting up that inflammation, which is decreasing the pain. So that's at least the best way for me to understand it. And Louise said, my fibromyalgia pain has gone down substantially in just 4 days. Oh, woo! I love hearing those stories, right?
I love too hearing that.
Yeah. That's why I want to shout it from the mountaintops, because I'm like, this is changing people's worlds. If you live a life, here's the thing. If you live a life in pain and you get used to always being in pain, right? You are now, how are your relationships suffering? Whether you mean to or not, a person in pain cannot be present with their family or with the people that they love the same way a person without pain can be. That your relationships, your reason for being, right? Like it gets better. Like, and it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. This stuff isn't expensive. It's not like $500 a month or anything. This is not expensive stuff at all. This is just stuff for you to be able to, you ingest it and then you start feeling better. And the reason you feel better is because of the antioxidants. It's not magic. It's nutrients, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
That's what it is. I am full of rants today, apparently, is what's going on. Well, I was
Great.
stuck in a car. Let's be real. I was stuck in a car for 8 hours over the course of the last 2 days. So I'm just happy to be out amongst the people. Melissa said, wow, I have fibro also. Yes, fibromyalgia. And Sarah said, this group has changed my life. That's what we're here for. We're here. It's an amazing group. It's an amazing group, you guys. It's amazing. Well, I don't want to keep everybody up. I'm going to head to the gym. But Chantal, what would you have as a last thing to say about somebody that thinks that they might have adrenal fatigue? What would you say would be a next step for them? If they think that they listen and they're like, ooh, that might be me, what should they do?
Well,
I didn't even warn you about that.
No, it's okay. You need first thing is you need to verify be real with yourself. Are you always running all over the place? Are you feeling like you're surviving your life and not really living your life? Okay? Because if that's the issue for you, probably you're in the 80% that's having adrenal fatigue and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. When you take a conscious decision to take care of yourself first, you're gonna make the moves, to change a little bit at a time what you're not satisfied with. But it starts with one step, taking care of yourself. That's it. Yeah.
There it is. I think that's it. We'll drop the mic on that one.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to message either one of us, or if somebody tagged you in the video or sent this video to you or sent you to the video, whatever happened, reach back out to that person. Again, make sure that they are on Martha Krejci's team, that they are on my team, because if this is resonating with you and if this is hitting you like you want to start making a change, you need to be in our group so we can love on you and we can support you and we can help you make that change. Okay. That's totally and absolutely the goal. It's a completely free group, but it's only for the people that are drinking the juice. Okay. So, that's all she wrote.
That's all, folks.
That's it. Well, we will see you next Thursday with a mystery topic. So it's gonna be fun. Oh, my computer's gonna go slow now, so we're just gonna sit here apparently. Oh man. Oh, Chantal, we're just gonna sit here. My computer froze. Well, what do you want to talk about? Oh my word. There. Oh, it went and it came back.
Oh,
come back.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.